Hello, welcome back to another trombone lesson. Today we're going to talk about long tones and tone development on trombone. Hello, my name is Thomas Lavin. I'm a trombonist and bass trombonist based in Brooklyn, New York. Today we're going to talk about long tones and tone development on the trombone, just some thoughts on it, and then some ways that you can apply it in your own practice. So why do we play long tones on the trombone? They help us to develop our tone quality and strengthen our chops, and really they help us to find the point where we achieve the greatest resonance with the minimal resistance when we're playing. They can help with tuning, and really for me the point of playing long tones is to help to connect the ear with the sound that we're hearing in our head with the sound that's coming out the bell. Arnold Jacobs was a famous tubist with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and his idea was song and wind. You have a song, you have an idea, you have a sound in your head, and then just the whole point of working on fundamentals like this is to get the sound that you're hearing out the bell. So we call that song and wind. So for me, the point of long tones is to help develop our tone to open it up so that we can get the sound that we're hearing out the bell. Alright, so we talked a little bit about why long tones are helpful. So some of the exercises are ones that you probably heard of or at least have done, maybe in band class or in your other studies. So the first one is the classic Remington exercise. It'll be whole notes or half notes, B flat A, B flat A flat, B flat G, etc. Maybe go down to F, maybe go down to low B flat. That is a fantastic exercise. I incorporate that quite frequently into my daily routine. I'm of the opinion that I like to change it up, so I'm always experimenting and trying different ways, different exercises, and different ways of playing the same exercises so that I can get kind of different benefits incorporated. We can also start the Remington pattern on a different note. We can start out in 7th position on E and B, which is great because we usually don't get as much opportunity to play the notes out there, so then that'll help to open up our sound in the lower positions, and it'll help our intonation because we'll be coming a different direction to the same notes. So when we go out to F sharp, we're coming from the lower position, so then we have to pay attention to really make sure that that's in tune, and it'll be, maybe we'll have a different tendency when we're coming from the lower position than when we're going down from B flat. That's a great variation on the standard Remington exercise. Another variation on the Remington that I like is kind of going down with the pattern. So we can pick an interval, so maybe a half step, maybe a whole step. So instead of kind of anchoring on that B flat, we can move that B flat down with the pattern. So we can do like B flat A flat, A flat G. So it's the same idea, but we're going down with the pattern. And we can also do that in different intervals. So maybe we could do a whole step like B flat to A flat, A to G, etc. And I find that this also helps us with our intonation because the interval will be the same for each variation of the exercise. So we can keep an ear out for the intonation of that interval as well. If you're finding this lesson helpful and you would like to study with me privately, I'm currently accepting a limited number of students in my online studio or in person in New York City. Check the description to see how to sign up. I think especially when we're playing long tones, we should make sure to keep a tuner and a metronome on the stand all the time. We want to really make sure that we're building up the muscle memory to play that note clearly and in tune. I also love playing long tones with the drone. I talked more about that in my intonation video, but the gist of it is that really helps you to connect your ear with what you're playing, because instead of just looking at the screen of the tuner to tell if you're in tune, that helps you to activate your ear so that you can hear whether you're in tune, which is imperative when you're playing in an actual musical situation. When you're practicing long tones with the drone or with the tuner, make sure that you're really trying to be right in the middle of the pitch. We want to build that stability of having an even note that is right in the middle of the pitch. So really be aware of that when you're practicing. So I referenced the idea of song and wind earlier, and another really good exercise is just playing one note and trying to develop your tone with just that one note. In his book, The Singing Trombone, Charlie Vernon has this exercise where you just repeat like an F whole note, and you keep repeating it until the sound that you're playing is the same as the sound that you have in your head. And then you go down a half step, and then you go up a half step, until you covered the whole range of the horn, which that sounds like a lot, but that would definitely help you to develop your tone and to open it up. And the last long tone routine that I wanted to mention is Phil Teal's long tone routine. I really talked more about it in my low note video, so if you haven't watched that, go check it out. But just the gist of it is you just play a ton of long tones. He was known for just playing long tones all the time. So his exercise is just 20 long tones. Like his day one is just like in the super low pedals in the bass trombone range. But the other days do go up into kind of the middle range, into the high range. So that's just, gives you an idea of some of the long tone routines that are out there, some ideas for how to practice them. When you are practicing these, definitely this is like a long-term plan. So you can come back to this video, you can keep track of these ideas, but I find it helpful to zoom in on, I'm going to do this exercise today, and I'm going to really work on my intonation. And so then you try to work on that for the day. You don't try to bite off too much for this kind of thing. It's really, we're working on the details with these fundamental exercises. So you can take the benefits of working on your long tones, of opening up your sound, so when you're playing a solo, when you're playing an ensemble piece, then your sound will just naturally be more developed. And so that's really what I want you to remember from this, is we play long tones to develop our sound and to open it up, and just experiment with how you're playing long tones and incorporating those into your daily routine. So those are some of my thoughts on practicing long tones. I hope you found it helpful. It's definitely a long-term project, and you'll have to practice this sort of stuff every day in a very detail-oriented way to get the most benefits. And if you did find this video helpful, consider subscribing. I'm going to be posting a lot more lesson videos, and if you are interested in taking lessons with me, see the description below. Happy practicing. I'll see you next time.